So I think it's like great you're helping to open up that community. I think it's important, especially just talking to other people and finding out, oh, you do this? Oh, that's a great idea. Like that sort of stuff is very important. That's how a whole community improves, a rising tide, by sharing that information.
For sure. And I think that the surfboard industry is probably not unique in that, like, in these sort of artisan, like fine craftsman kind of fields. People are afraid of sharing knowledge, right? Because your tricks kind of become your trademark, and that becomes the thing that differentiates you from your competition. And so it tends to be like a sealed lip sort of thing. But I don't know. I think that it takes a very particular kind of person to want to get into this in the first place, and to try to encourage people to even just play around, maybe like do some ding repair or change the fin setup on a board that you already have, or want to do a shaping course, because I teach shaping courses out of the studio, and just get more involved and understand what goes into not just building the board, but the functionality and the hydrodynamics, all of that, because it's, I don't know. I think that it's been a fairly inaccessible kind of world up until maybe 10 years ago. It was like whatever, sway locks, like reading like antiquated forums, and trying to like glean whatever you can from garage builders all over the world. And now it's just, you can kind of just scroll through your feed on Instagram and learn a lot of actually really helpful tricks, which is incredible now. But yeah, so I think that getting together and just talking, having a beer, playing some ping pong, and enjoying like what we have here that I think is unique and special, as being so close to New York and just the East Coast surf scene. I feel really lucky to be a part of it. So
I gotta ask,
yeah,
what's the food situation going to be like? Because I'm excited. It sounds fancy. Chef Yoni. Like
Chef Yoni.
So tell me that. And also tell us like what other shapers you have confirmed that are going to be coming up and hanging out.
Sure. You want to talk about Yoni?
Come on, Thomas.
Thomas is stepping in.
Here we go.
Oh, LaGrega.
Tiga. Is that what we're going to call you? Do people call you Tiga?
The fun stuff. I'll talk about the food.
Tilaga? Do we have a nickname for you, Thomas?
Tyler needs a nickname for you.
Jono calls me Tila G.
Tila G.
Yeah.
Tila G. Tila G. How you going?
What was I answering?
Tell us.
You're going to talk about
he's a good friend of ours. He lives in Rockaway. We spent a lot of time with Yoni in Puerto Rico, and he is
Yeah, you're good on the mic. Just kiss it. Kiss it.
Right on. Is that good?
That's perfect.
Okay, much better. So we spend a good amount of time with him in Puerto Rico, and he welcomes us into his home and just kind of takes care of us. Like, it's like we're just there, and like we pitch in, but he's like constantly teaching how to do things. Like cooking is his big thing. So we thought it'd be fun to have him, who he doesn't really do this for a living at all, but he's just a good guy and great chef, so he's going to make some tacos. We're also going to have cuisine by Claudette, bringing cupcakes and coffee.
Lovely.
And I'm trying to think about what else we have there.
And what
Patsy.
shapers you got coming? What do we got?
Paul.
Yeah.
Shapers.
So it's a really laissez-faire event. We don't know.
So we don't know.
No, we know some
Scott's
people.
There.
We know that a couple guys from Nature Shapes are going to come. Yeah,
nice.
We know that. Scott Klausner is going to be there. Jimmy O'Brien will be there.
Nice.
We're trying to get Davey Sky, and Bourbon said that he was going to try to make it. Spoke to Mensal. He said that he was down. It's all just about
Professor
schedule,
Mensel.
right?
The
professor.
Wow.
Who else?
A good amount of maybes. But
Yeah. All are invited. Please spread the word. If you make a board, made one board, whatever, come on.
That's what I was having helped organize or put together the zine for It Doesn't Not Work last fall. there's shapers are notoriously last minute,
Oh, yeah.
both in their contributions to a magazine and then their works of art. But I was also impressed by learning about how many people are the quote like backyard shapers in the area. Like you have folks like yourself. This is like your trade, and we'll want to hear more about that as a profession. But like then you have like folks that are just shaping, like they'll do maybe 1 or 2 boards a year for fun, and like they look pretty damn good from what was submitted. Or someone like Johnny Bourbon who's like has a day job as like an engineer and like also does these like incredibly designed longboards. So it's like it's not simply like you have a brand and your profession, but like the whole craft seems to be, when you talk about access, folks are like pursuing out on their own, trying their own thing.
For sure, yeah, and I love the when people are keeping it unprofessional, right? And I think that's what y'all were going after with It Doesn't Not Work. But that kind of spirit, which is where it all was born anyway, right? Like with Velzy shaping under the pier, and selling boards for what, like $10. I mean, like if we can do our part to kind of keep that fun aspect to it alive and like promote that as best we can, that's what we're after, because it can get really serious sometimes, and they are just toys. Like we're in the other adult toy industry, so we want to make sure that people are having plenty of fun with these things. And
that was the under. There was a wager on when you're gonna drop that line.
Oh yeah,
the other. I like that.
That was definitely the under.
The other.
That's my idea.
I had it at like 30. I had it like 32 minutes or 34 minutes.
You're about 22 minutes in. You
22.
22.
Wow.
Not bad.
Too early. Wow. All right, I got nothing now. I already dropped it. That's my best line.
Thomas, you seem to have become Paul's documentarian of sorts. Like, what's your part in all this with Paul Surf? I'm just kind of curious. I want to get how this kind of crew got together. Give me the bit of the origin story.
Yeah. Let's see. It started off, I think, I was wanting to buy a longboard. I never bought a longboard before, and I was doing just like, Instagram research of what people are making, what they look like. Not really too interested in like the nuances of it at the time. Like I didn't know about them until I found a couple board builders that I wanted to reach out with a custom board, and reached out to Paul, and he was like the one that you could tell was like really interested in getting the board right, and like figuring out what that person wanted, and really like walked me through the steps of like why I would want a certain tail design or a rocker, and almost like educate me as I was buying it. Mm-hmm. And so I was like completely sold on buying one from Paul. So I just have, since then, we've been surfing together, and I enjoy photography and filmmaking. So just naturally, it's kind of like an easy person to film surfing and shoot surfing. I have a lot of friends that surf, but none that surf well. So Paul
surfs pretty well.
So it was a nice way.
Big compliment right there. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I need to apologize.
like a big phone. We're having this equipment thing where we have to hold the mics rather than place them on the desk. A question for both of you. You just put up this awesome clip from the Swell last weekend, and it's you, Paul, out at some beautiful point breaks on the Swell, the Umberto Swell this past weekend, and I believe the other surfer,
John Anguillo.
I think it's great footage. It's tightly produced, and how cool is it to to like have a Swell over the weekend and by like what, Monday or two, I don't know when that thing was posted, but like within the last 24 hours, have footage up online that like captures this like recent weather event. This is like in our community, like news, right? So it's like covering it quick. How is that like, do you feel pressure when there's these like fall swell coming through to get on it and get footage up, have your name attached to a brand name Swell, good waves, because we don't get them all the time? Is there sort of a pressure beyond simply, I just want to get out there and surf?
That's a great question.
Thomas loves the film.
Yeah, I think there definitely is a little bit of pressure because like you don't want to miss it the same way you don't want to if you're really into something else that you have the opportunity to be a part of and film and show other people like what it's like, especially in a place like New York where you could kind of surprise people for people that are watching in California or anywhere in the world and be like, whoa, that's
when
New
like
York.
Swell season's like homepage, Swell season.
Season. Wow.
Surfline's homepage is like just constant editorial on whatever storm's rolling through.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to like miss that news cycle.
Yeah. So I think that there is a little bit of that, but at the same time, like it's just fun. I mean, it's taking a road trip somewhere, surfing and filming and then editing the video. It's like,
yeah, I mean, we'd be doing this anyway, right? And the only difference is Thomas is probably surfing less than he wants to because he's behind the lines, right? And I keep looking back at shore and I feel bad. I'm like, oh man, dude.
Not that bad.
But not bad enough to tell him to come in.
Yeah, you never wave at me to be come in and like stop shooting.
Yeah, but yeah, team effort.
Yeah.
Now,
No, but
are you pressing Paul for the shot, or are you directing out in the lineup?
Nah.
Like I've had sessions where someone's photographing and they're like, "Nah, you're not coming in until you get the shot."
no, it's pretty organic. I mean,
Right.
I think maybe this last one for the Humberto Swell, I think I might have told him to like I'm gonna point it to where I was gonna be and like go left. Obviously, he's gonna go left, but like like know where I am. That happens like once every 6 months. I'll say something like that. Other than that, it's just like go surf and like I'm gonna figure like I'll have fun and whatever, and doesn't really matter. Just for fun.
Yeah. Right. So it's just for fun, but it's definitely it's an interest, a concern of both of ours. I mean, I've always been interested in surf film. It's kind of what got me into even the shaping and the lifestyle was the Thomas Campbell surf films, right? And so when those came out, when I was first really starting to fall in love with surfing, when I was like 18, 19, those films kind of like opened my eyes and my mind to like a different style of surfing than I had been exposed to from a young age, which was all just like the shortboard thing, right? And then after seeing those films, and I was already into the art kind of world and doing a lot of visual art kind of stuff and music. Then all of a sudden I saw, I can do kind of both at the same time. I can pursue art and the creation process and also have that be a part of my surfing life. And they didn't have to be exclusive. So, so when I met Thomas and I found out that he was not only a photographer and filmmaker, but a very talented one, it was exciting to talk about, what we wanted to do in terms of pursuing like just creating anything, whether it's a short clip or trying to make real surf films, which is a goal of ours. But yeah, so that's where we're kind of thinking. We're dreaming about it all the time.
Boards,
for sure. Yeah. And that's kind of what people want to see. They want to see the boards getting surfed in good waves. That's what sells boards. And it also, just proves that they work. not that anything doesn't not work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Loop back to the it
full
doesn't not
circle
work.
here.
How
Full
have
circle.
Going to your so you shape boards here in Rockaway. How has it evolved the customer connection? You were talking. Thomas was talking about part of the sell was talking about the longboard and the shape and with the dynamics of it and being informed by probably the performance and what he might like. But how have you heard your customers have more sort of insight or interest